Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 3 of CoOPERATE. It's Mobile Day, and we are very excited to have Jackie Bona, the CEO of Valora, kicking us off with her keynote. Yes, please, round of applause. Jackie's keynote is going to be what Web3 needs to offer a truly great mobile experience. Thanks, Jackie.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Good to see you all. I see a lot of familiar faces. I'm here to kick off Mobile Day, and so really exciting. I'm going to talk a little bit more about what we've been learning at Valora. Many of you know we're a mobile-first wallet, and I've learned a lot over the last few years of working on this problem specifically, and have partnered with you all to do that. So I'll kick it off, and yeah, I would love to just share with some learnings, and hopefully you'll learn something from this. Okay, so before I kick things off, I'd like to introduce myself a little bit and kind of talk a little bit about why I'm doing this. So, as you can tell from my accent, I'm American, but many of you may not know that I was actually born in the Philippines. We immigrated to the US when I was 5, and basically grew up in a very dual culture. So in the Philippines, it's pretty common to support your family back at home with remittances. And also in my adult life, I've lived in different countries around the world, whether it's Latin America or Asia. So I've had also kind of the pain point and experience of moving money around and having bank accounts in different markets. Obviously, that's a very different problem than the mission of Celo, right? And is to serve kind of the other half of the world. And so that was really what drew me to the Celo mission and really working on this problem of really equitable access. And so this is why we do what we do, and this is why I do what we do, is really about how do we build for access for as many people as possible. And this is exactly what we're focused on with Valora. Okay. I recognize a lot of people, so I probably don't have to go into it too much, but I should probably go into what is Valora. And so just really quickly, we are a mobile crypto wallet, so very focused on this, mobile and access kind of point. But also, we're focused on ease of use. So how do we actually make a wallet and a solution very easy to use for the everyday user that may not know crypto, that is new to crypto, and basically just wants a solution to work for them? And so we do everything from facilitating peer-to-peer payments, but also something that we've been focused on is actually working with many of you builders to gain access and discover dApps and Web3 applications. So that's been a big focus for us there, and that's what you can see here on the screen. Okay, so moving on. Why mobile? And I think, just to kick it off with a stat here, we're still early days for crypto, right? Only 5% of the world has actually touched crypto, but everyone has, or virtually everyone has, a smartphone in their pocket. And so I think that was really the original thesis for Celo, and that was really one of the things that I came to when I was thinking about, what is the most impact that I could have with launching products and, bringing new technologies to people. And obviously, crypto is cross-border, crypto is global, but how do you actually get this to more and more people around the world? You do it through mobile, and it's simply because of this. The only thing is that many of the solutions today, that exist, right, are very much built for desktop. And so I'll kind of go through some of these challenges here. So, if we only build for desktop or for laptops or whatever, devices, that are accessing crypto today is really, only built for less than 50% of the world. Many more people have access to smartphones, as I mentioned before. And so if we want to build for access and for everybody, mobile is truly the way. The other one is to build for accessibility and usability. And so this comes down to, not using jargony language, having a really clean UX. And we've been learning a lot of that stuff along the way. And so I'll actually go into those lessons a little bit deeper. But I think the most important thing is that this isn't easy, right? Like, we have to do it together. And we're actually, I'm actually here to share some really early data and experiments that we've been running of things that we've been learning at Valora. And so it's not widely published, but I do think by doing it together and kind of sharing these insights can help all of us build a more seamless mobile experience that will help serve users and to really help serve people that need it the most. So let's go into it. Okay, so lesson number 1. This seems very obvious, but make onboarding easy. Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit more about what's going on here. So the screen that you see here is a very early mock and a test that we're actually doing, which is called Choose Your Own Adventure. That's what we're calling it internally. And essentially, we're taking a playbook of a lesson, that I've learned in working in various tech companies, where it's like, when you do new user onboarding, you should ask your users, what do you want to do first? And so this is what it is. So you have add funds, find ways to use crypto, build your profile, learn about Celo. Can anyone guess what is the top adventure that people choose? You can just shout it out. Oh, find ways to use crypto. What else? Profile. Okay. Okay. So yeah, people. Yeah, I would assume that too. Like, find ways to use your crypto. So obviously, this is in the onboarding flow. Actually, what we've seen is that add funds, right? Like, kind of fund your wallet is the top action. So that's pretty obvious. But in a very close second is create a profile. And that was actually really surprising to us because, we think in crypto, like, everyone wants to remain anonymous. No one really wants to, like, reveal themselves, especially in their wallet. But what we've been noticing, especially with, our users that are less technical, newer to crypto, is that they actually want to use profiles to kind of express themselves and to identify themselves. And again, this is super early. Like, we're running this experiment, I think, with 15% of our users. And so it's not something that's widely used, but it's something that we're taking that insight and we're really trying to think about, like, identity and how do we actually allow users to express themselves. And also, I think for some of the dApps in this room, how can you use that to actually identify, like, cohorts of your users? I was talking to Anna from Good Dollar, for example, and she's like, I would love to do a community of women entrepreneurs. And it's like, well, how are you going to find that out if all you have is, like, long string of a public key address? It's like, well, you don't, or even a phone number, or even a .celo or an ENS name. You don't know anything about that. But actually, if you have a way for people to share that information on a voluntary basis, but actually make it useful and to build community, and then to also layer on your rewards or anything that you're doing to actually add value to those users, this could actually be a really powerful thing to do. So that's one of the things about making onboarding easy that was surprising to us about, like, we actually didn't think that because we thought most people actually want to stay anon, but we actually are finding out that, people want to express themselves in different ways. Some of the other things about onboarding, I think this also leads to trade-offs and surprises, right? Another trade-off or another surprise that we had, or really not surprise, but a trade-off that we've had to make was from decentralization to centralization. For many of you early Valora users, you guys probably remember the 3 text message verification that not always worked. And we saw that in the data. We saw the drop-off data. It took us a while because, we were like, oh, we want to use this, like, decentralized, phone verification mapping. But actually, we were like, well, the user experience is paramount to that. Let's just switch to a single, text message. And we actually saw onboarding rates more than double. And so I think that, like, again, we're going back to kind of these principles of, like, what people think in crypto we need to do, but when we actually think about the user experience, you sometimes have to trade those things off, but could see an actual benefit that can help benefit users to get them started. And so that's just, again, probably a very obvious insight to go over, but an important one to be reminded of. Okay, so first one, make onboarding easy. Second one, make it engaging. Okay, does anyone know which dApp this is? And the Valorians cannot answer. Does anyone know what dApp on Celo this is? Nobody. Oh, you know. Sorry. Suat. No. Okay, sorry. Thank you for volunteering. Okay, so this dApp is Ipermatch. They're an Italian fantasy football dApp. And they are actually one of the most used and engaged dApps on Valora. You've never heard of them before. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, they're only Italian. Obviously you can get NFTs, kind of follow your football teams. And they're kind of the first in their market to actually use this fantasy football model, but actually place that solution on a blockchain and use it as an NFT game. So again, like continual engagement, super engaging. Also, towards a very specific market. We actually worked with Ebermatch to localize the Valora app in Italian, and I'll actually go into that next. But I think this making it engaging and this like gamification of dApps and kind of making it fun is another really important point and something that's unique to mobile. When you think about the different types of mobile apps that you have in your phone, right? They have notifications, they have different ways to kind of engage in it. So how can we actually take those lessons from Web 2 and actually apply it on there? And I think Ebermatch does a good job of that. I know Good Ghosting has done a lot of gamification, or HaloFi, sorry. So shout out to them. But I think there's definitely an opportunity here that we see. And again, it's a dApp you've never even heard of, but it's one of the most engaged apps that we see in Valora. Okay. Gotta move on because we're getting short on time. Okay, the third one, internationalize. And so this screen of Valora is in Italian, so I mentioned I would kind of continue on with this, the story about Ebermatch. But while internationalization isn't specific to mobile, I do think it's a very important part of building for access and building for all, because for trying to build for a global mobile audience, it's got to be in their language here. So one of the insights that I'd love to share with you is, at Valora, we see over 50% of our users actually engage in Valora in non-English speaking languages. So we're localized in 13 different languages. Obviously English is one of them, but over half of users actually engage in Valora in non-English speaking, which makes sense. We've been focused on emerging markets. We're a global app. But I do think that's really important because most dApps are not localized. And so I know that can be an arduous process. That's something that we'd love to talk to about in terms of what solutions dApps have to be able to localize different languages. But that's actually a really important point, is that we're trying to build an interface and and a solution that's local and relevant for each of these markets. But we also need to carry on that user experience through dApps. And so we'd love to partner with you on this. But internationalization not only helps build trust, but it also makes it relevant and useful for them. And I think that's really the opportunity that we have as a crypto community, is how do you make crypto useful for all? So internationalize. All right. This journey is not easy. I know we've been working on this for a long time. There's many of you here that are working really hard on solutions. And the road to adoption is not easy, right? Like, I put this photo because it's like, I like to see it as an adventure. We're all doing it together. And this is really the call to action here. At Valora, we've been really focused on users, but another thing that we've been really focused on is actually working with dApps and builders. And so, we have Silas, our CTO, and Jean, one of our senior engineers here, who'll be hosting a workshop later today. But I wanted to do just a teaser on what's coming soon and what they will be talking about today. And really, one of the opportunities that we see is how do we make actions that many of you offer as dApps and builders more directly native in Valora. So these are, we're coming soon, are shortcuts. And so the one that I highlighted here is Good Dollar. Or you can even think about it with any sort of claim button. But basically, it's like you have this daily action that a user has to come in. Right now, you have to go to multiple taps, connect to Wallet Connect, and we basically want to eliminate some of that friction, or all of that friction if possible, and actually surface that very easily. So people can transact and people know exactly what to do. So here, we are working very closely with the builder community on shortcuts. And again, this is flexible, creative, and something that you as a dApp builder can hopefully easily build yourself. And so this is just a preview, but if you're interested in learning more on actually how to do this for your dApp, our engineering team has a workshop upstairs at 2:40, so please don't miss that. Okay, so last couple slides. the Valora team is here. This is a photo of us, and we have folks from our engineering team. We have myself, Merrick, and Danielle from our exec team. Please come. We have some fun swag for you. I have it here. Some cool lanyards, some VIP charms. Please come talk to us. We want to hear more about your Valora experience, or if you don't have the app, please download it. We'd love to walk you through onboarding. And again, we're very focused on the mobile user experience. We're here to serve users all around the world, and I know there's a global audience here. And so please come talk to us. Please come find us. We'd love to meet with you. And yeah, so that's it. I just wanted to thank everyone for being here, for your support, and also your partnership. So thanks so much for coming to Mobile Day, and have a blast.